Okay, well, thanks everybody for being here. We're really excited to be talking about our Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for 2025, Kenny Moore. I think back to when he joined us in 2017, and I think he had such a purpose-driven personality then, but wow, what a long way that you have come. And I feel like it's been such an honor to have a front seat to see him grow both on and off the field. But he really had a dedication and passion to impact his community and impact his team. And I think that it goes without saying, being the third year that he's been our nominee, that he has done that. And I was trying to think of something this year in particular that I think really exemplifies both the excellence on and off the field, which is what this award is all about. And when you are in the community and you are asking little kids what celebration dance you should do if you make a big play on the field, and then you go into the game that Sunday, you make that big play, and you keep your promise to that little kid, is exactly what this is all about. So I will let him say a few words, but we are so, so proud of you, and you know that. And it's an honor to have you wear the horseshoe and represent us in this way. So congrats, Ken.
Thank you so much. Those words pushed me further. I got a huge commitment to the community. That'll never waver, but it's an honor to represent this organization as well as the city in this space.
All right, open it up.
Kenny, we were there last year when you announced your partnership with Cardinal Ritter, and then you mentioned this year that part of that partnership is teaching there. What are you teaching, and how did that kind of come about?
Yeah, I go over some life skills with an 8th grade class every Tuesday. I'm there for about 2 hours, and the class is about 45 minutes to an hour before they get out of school. But they kind of scheduled their Tuesdays in a way of letting me have this 4th block with these 8th graders, and we'll be able to track these 8th graders all throughout high school.
Kenny, this being your 3rd time, it's obviously not a mistake. Where did this life of service, where did that start?
It started in the home. My grandmother and my mother, they were always givers. You know, my home life kind of started with, being a refuge for family members or people that we met in the community. They would stay with us throughout my life. At home, we had a guest room downstairs, and that kind of led me to expand my heart of how to serve without, expecting anything from anybody else. From there, they had us in church every Sunday, and having 7 kids, you kind of make up a big portion of some of the things that they're asked to do. So we were a part of a young people's division at the St. Paul Methodist that I went to back in Valdosta, Georgia, and that led to expanding and having reminders throughout the church and things that we were able to do over the course of a year of ushering, choir. We would give out food to the homeless every Sunday before church at Sunday school. So those things led to doing things at school and sports. We were reading to schools, Read Across of America. From then on, from leaving Valdosta, Georgia, I had a lot of great teachers and coaches over my years in Valdosta, Georgia, that I just wanted to go on a journey of appreciating them and showing them that, all the work that they poured into me, everything that they instilled wasn't in vain. So I remember going back to my high school and middle school while I was at college at Valdosta State, just telling them, I appreciate it, or writing them letters, or giving them a pair of gloves whenever I made it here. So I think those reminders are always great for the teacher, for the educators and coaches, just letting them know that one of their students or one of their players didn't take that in vain.
Kenny, why is it important for you? You could give the money, you've done that, but to show up and be sort of a tangible figure that kids can kind of look at and see, oh, that's the guy I saw on Sunday, but also that's the guy who come into my class. Yeah,
so we started the Rise and Shine initiative last year. I didn't think that was enough personally, having this program and experiences, or it was really just a push to you know, the kids that were missing school or the kids that were, you know, not doing so great in school. We set them up with like career opportunities outside of Cardinal Ritter, you know, letting them see life outside of school or outside of the television. And I thought it was only right. I thought it was very appropriate for me to be in the flesh and not just kind of send something to the school and just say good luck with this. But I wanted to be in the flesh, and I wanted to be more of a more hands-on, more of a role for the school. So as I help them, they help me every single week. You know, with everything that we have going on in our world of football, it's cool. You know, it keeps my morale high, and they push me as well. Like on the field, I think about them. I think about the celebrations and everything. I want to have some fun. We always talk about it every Tuesday coming back into school. So, like I said, it's kind of a partnership with them. You know, having that relationship and interactions with them. They help me as I help them.
In this first semester at Ritter, in what ways have you been able to see already your impact in those kids when you're going there?
Well, I think for one is just being approachable, and first and initially, you know, they were kind of like, you know, what can I talk about? What can I say? They were very quiet. Now going on probably our 8th or so, you know, having these types of discussions and everything, talking about, you know, how is it at home, or how is it, you know, juggling all the responsibilities that you have with school and the extracurriculars, you know, their growth and everything. The comfort level was already there. So I think to do anything great or to do anything with you know, mass production, you got to have a want to at first. So to begin that quest, and they have the want to, they have the spirit behind them, and you know, sitting in class, they're very curious. So that is good initially, and I'll be able to see their growth for the next coming years.
Is there
Take a few
any
more.
moment, person, relationship that you look to as a source of inspiration to keep going and keep pushing yourself to continue giving back in bigger ways?
I think just seeing the importance of, in the education space, or in general?
Just in general.
In general, probably just whenever I look back at the kid in Valdosta, Georgia, that was just wanting to be great, that was wanting to prove it to himself and prove it to his family that, you know, he meant a lot to the world and himself, and he had interests, and he was very curious. Just the little boy in me that kind of pushed me further, and you know, just having the integrity and having the positivity to just move on, even when things don't present themselves as such. Probably just family. I would say family. They mean a lot to me, and I just want to be there for them, and I want to show them that, you know, the only boy of 7 kids, and he can amount to something, you know. So that was something that was I was very insecure about growing up, and you know, the things that I'm able to do now, people that I've been able to you know, brush shoulders with over the last several years have been a key piece for me. And it takes a village. It takes a village, and I've had a lot of great people around me, fortunately. So I think we all help each other.
Kenny, how important do you think it is to have tougher conversations with kids about big emotions, big feelings, big topics, and a lot of that I would imagine it ties back into what the Colts do here with kids.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, I think, you know, initially it's kind of a little uncomfortable, but I think the more you talk about it, you realize that we're all going through the same thing, and that gives you comfort, you know, as a person that's kind of like leading these things with 2 of the teachers, Mrs. Kelly and Miss Anna. You give them a certain piece about it, you know, to be vulnerable, to want to express. Not every child or not every student initially wants to do that, but you know, when you make it fun sometimes, or you make it like, you know, you're gonna go through these times in your life. You know, we're all bound to rainy days. You just gotta have the tools to be able to make it through and see the sunshine again. So I think that's what I've learned in my career, you know, as an adult, and I didn't know those things whenever I was in 8th grade or whenever I was in high school. So having those things and the people around me to be able to say it's okay, it's cool to tell somebody else the same thing.
Is it Mr. Moore or Mr. Ken?
They call me Kenny. They call me Mr. Moore and Mr. Kenny. Yeah.